my name is Taco and I've been with Yoast since 2013, so just over 10 years. I became part of Newfold Digital when Yoast was acquired back in 2021, so about 2 years ago. I'm very local to the Yoast offices as I live a 5-minute walk away from them in the beautiful town of Wijchen in the Netherlands. In 2013, I worked as a trainer in a call center of a huge ISP in the Netherlands. I had to commute to work every day, which was door to door about 2.5 hours single trip by public transport. And one of those mornings, I saw a retweet by a classmate of mine, Gaia. And there was some WordPress company he retweeted that's called Yoast, and they were looking for a developer. Their motto for the position: hire for talent and attitude, train for skill. Well, I was pretty confident that my attitude would be fine, that I had no skills whatsoever, and talent, well, I'd let them be the judge of that. And also, I promised to bring cake if they invited me to the interview. So obviously, I was invited to the interview, and much to my own surprise, hired as a developer. And that's where my story really started. So, I was hired as a junior developer. Important to know is that at the time, Joost de Valk, the founder of Yoast, was the only developer in the company. He built the product. So when I came in, he had to split his time between working on the product and trying to teach me WordPress development. After a few months and loads of struggles and a few semi-failed projects, we decided that developer wasn't the role for me. But instead of firing me, which would have been fair, Joost, Marieke and Michiel decided to let me move to what I knew already, customer support. At the time, we didn't have anyone dedicated to support. Thijs and I just did it next to our regular work, so I became the first support engineer at Yoast. And as we launched Yoast SEO Premium, the work started piling up fast. So Thijs, my manager at the time, decided to hire an additional support engineer. And because we had customers all over the world, it made sense to do so in a different time zone. And so I got to welcome Rumian to our now team of 2. With the growth of Yoast SEO and its premium version, the demand for support became higher. So we hired more support engineers to help us out. And as this team was growing, it only made sense that I, being the only one at the offices, was their team lead. And thus my title changed from support engineer to team lead customer support. In the meantime, actually in the first weeks at Yoast, there was this new big event called WordCamp Europe. It happened in 2013 in the Dutch city called Leiden. And since I'd only been at Yoast for about 6 weeks, I came to that event knowing virtually nothing about the Yoast products or WordPress. But I quickly found out that almost everyone in the WordPress community knew Yoast and Joost de Valk. And over the course of several days, I met so many amazing people who I still consider to be friends today. I got fully immersed in a community of people I instantly loved hanging out with, proven by the fact that we only left the bar at 4 a.m. when it closed. It was that evening that I got properly introduced and welcomed into the WordPress community. So while my job changed at Yoast, I stayed connected with the WordPress community. In fact, I was in the lucky position to spend a significant amount of time contributing to the Polyglots team and traveling to WordPress events across Europe. As a result, my job title quickly changed to Community and Support Manager. I've held that position the longest, despite the content of the role changing a bit over time. For a year, it meant I was part of Yoast's management team, for example. And we created a real community team, which meant I had more people to manage. And as the support team continued to grow, it was no longer doable to be the direct lead of all 20+ support engineers. So we started hiring for a team lead role, and a second one. And as the support organization grew, I sort of bubbled up in the organization. So after 7 years of being responsible for customer support at Yoast, we decided that we needed to bring in an experienced manager so that I could focus more of my time on the community and relationship building side of my job. We found an amazingly talented lady named Chaya for the position. Unfortunately, she quickly became a board member and shareholder at Yoast, which meant that we had to start looking for a new experienced manager customer support. Luckily, we found Raymond. Initially, he reported directly into Chaya, but as she had too many direct reports, we decided I would step in. And so, the support organization at Yoast was back under my wings. To be continued. The next step in my career at Yoast was probably the biggest leap of all. In April 2022, after the acquisition of Yoast by Newfold in 2021, some of the old board members and owners of Yoast decided to leave the company. And to continue the success of Yoast, 4 senior people were asked to step up and become part of Yoast's leadership team. And I was one of the lucky 4. And that's how I ended up in the Yoast leadership team. And while that sounds like the end of a story, it really isn't. As Yoast started working together more closely with the other Newfold brands and especially the WordPress brands, my job changes with it. And with that, it means I now get to work with brilliant people from all across the Newfold organization, a lot more. And what's next? I don't know yet. The best trait that's vital to growing your career? Oh, that's an easy one. It's pride. If you take pride in the work that you do and you're proud of the company that you work for, it will show. And that will mean everything to you. I'm in the lucky position to work with a great number of very talented and inspiring people. So this list is not exhaustive by any means, but there are a few people that I want to highlight here. First of all, the community team at Yoast. Sama and Neringa are the hearts and the minds behind everything community at Yoast. They're leading by example when it comes to being passionate about their jobs. Second, I want to highlight Devin Sears. He's been running field marketing for Bluehost since forever. And there's so much that I can learn from him when it comes to getting corporate buy-in for community and Newfold decision making. And next, I want to highlight Dida Exterkate. He's been with Yoast for a long time, and seeing him grow from just an intern to the beacon of knowledge over at the dev side at Yoast is absolutely inspiring, even though I don't interact with him that regularly at the moment. And last but certainly not least is Niels Revers. Niels is the embodiment of positivity and creativity. His never-ending energy to fight for equality and inclusion is a huge inspiration. Even though I've been on the Yoast leadership team for about a year and a half, it still feels like I'm new. There's so incredibly much to learn still. And at this moment I'm taking a community MBA course, and recently I completed a leadership course on LinkedIn Learning. Do the work you love doing. If you find joy in your job, it shows in everything that you do, and it rubs off on the people around you, and not just at work. I am Taco, and I am #Team Newfold.